is sparkling tonight under the Goodyear Blimp Enterprise. And far below, the Orange Bowl also sparkles on a beautiful night for football. And tonight on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Buick and your Buick dealer, who invite you to see all the 81 Buicks, from Riviera to Skylark to the new Regal. Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick? And by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
Beginning tonight, every Monday night game on the rest of the schedule is critical, and as you look at the standings in the AFC East, you can tell why. New England must win tonight over Miami if they are to stay in the hunt for a playoff berth. Hello again, everyone, and we're excited about tonight because the Patriots have not been able to beat Shula and Miami here at the Orange Bowl since 1966. And in this topsy-turvy league this year, the Patriots have not been able to win the games that they clearly should have won based on their personnel. Witness the upset at the hands of San Francisco just 1 week ago. Now, to tell you about Shula and Miami, the Giffer.
Well, Coach, as we all know, Don Shula, one of the great coaches ever to coach this game of football. And when you look back over his record, you notice one thing that stands out. In only 1 year of 17 years has he had a losing season. Right now his record is 6-7. I know Don Shula would like to pull that out. With a young bunch of football players, a makeshift ball club, if you will, at the beginning of the season, he turned the quarterbacking duties over to young David Woodley, a rookie out of LSU. Has a lot of fun playing this game. He keeps it in perspective. Maybe not quite serious enough as David Woodley, but he seems to be the quarterback of the future for the Miami Dolphins. So we'll be watching him tonight. Meanwhile, for the New England Patriots, they have problems. Steve Grogan is gimpy with a sore knee. The backup quarterback, Matt Cavanaugh, has a sore knee. Down on the field right now, our colleague, Fran Tarkenton, is with head coach Ron Earhart of the Patriots, the man with the dilemma.
Ron, you had Grogan start 2 weeks ago, Cavanaugh 2 weeks ago, Grogan last week. Who will be the quarterback tonight?
Well, the healthiest one we have tonight, Fran, is Matt Cavanaugh. Steve Grogan can play if we have to play him, but we probably will come with Tommy on and then Steve. But Matt has had a much better movement week. Didn't have near the movement last week. Steve had a better movement week. We're sort of in and out each week with either quarterback.
Is Cavanaugh 100%?
Not even close.
But you will come with Owen. Now, he's late reporting to you. Is he able to, does he know the offense now? Is he able to come in and play for you?
Well, this is why we've sort of had to really work a lot at it as far as really getting him ready. He came in at midseason, and we've gone with Steve because we felt if he could go at all. He's been in 75, 80 some ball games for us. He's done a tremendous job for us. But tonight, Matt's more healthier than Steve, and if we have to come in a pinch, we'll come with Tommy and then back to Steve.
Good luck to you, Coach. Okay, Frank, back up to you.
And there it is, the word from the top. Head coach Ron Earhart, now in his second year, he took over right here in Miami. At the end of the 78 season, Chuck Fairbanks moving on to Colorado in a rather interesting scene that we had here on Monday Night Football. There's Don Shula in the middle of his crew, a young crew, and yet there are some veterans in there. You look at number 58, Kim Bokamper, one of the outstanding linebackers in the National Football League. It's a young team that would like to pull themselves together. They were troubled earlier in the season. They were defeated by New England 34-0. They would like to avenge that tonight. And of course, all on the line, you could say, for the New England Patriots. They will play Buffalo next week, and then they will close out against New Orleans. But in the overall scheme of things, tiebreakers and everything considered, the New England Patriots, if they can win tonight, if they can win next week and then beat New Orleans, they, in all probability, should be the divisional champs. Giaquinto has dropped for the Miami Dolphins, an interesting story in himself. Also back there is Don Bessalou. Setting up now is Mike Gubash. He does the kicking off for the New England Patriots, and we're underway from Miami. This is Bessalou, averaging a little over 23 yards a return for the Dolphins. And Bessalou finds a gap and gets out over the 30 to the 31-yard line, hit there by Bob Golick. And let's take a look at the offensive unit. We told you about David Woodley, the rookie out of LSU. Took over 8 weeks ago. He's had his ups and downs. At times, he's been brilliant. And Don Shula has molded the offense to fit his talent. That talent means that he can move around back there. He'll run a little bit on you. There's your offensive line. Finally, an offensive line that Don Shula wanted at the beginning of the season. Out of the huddle, 1st and 10, Miami with their first possession. And here is David Whitley, 6'2", 183-pound rookie out of LSU, an unlikely 8th-round draft pick, starting here for the Miami Dolphins, the division champions of a year ago. Setbacks. Tony Nathan, and this is Nathan over the left side, and Nathan out to the 35-yard line, a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Let's meet the defensive unit. It'll change considerably. Situation substitution taking place. We'll see pass rusher Tony McGee in there frequently. Those are your linebackers. Bob Golick starting on the right side, replacing John Zamberlin. Bob Golick, a 2nd-round pick a year ago, really in his rookie year because he was out all season last year. 2nd down and 6, and David Whitley brings them up, putting both wide receivers, Nat Moore and Jimmy Cephalo, who is still in there for an injured Duriel Harris, out to the right. Whitley overthrows the intended receiver. It was Nathan coming out of the backfield. Leading receiver for the Dolphins, and he works well out of that backfield as Tony Nathan, the 2nd-year man from Alabama. And now it'll be 3rd down and 6, and the man calling the plays, you saw David Whitley. Take a look at the sidelines, is Don Shula himself. Of course, Don Shula being assisted from up above in the press box. One losing season out of 17 years. That was a 6-8 season in 1976. Don Shula would like not to have that happen again this season. 3rd down, 6. Nat Moore motions toward you. And Whitley goes down, sack, goes to Tony McGee, who has led the Patriots for the past 5 years in sacks. He comes in on the pass. He doesn't think run whatsoever. You saw the effect. The loss is all the way back to the 25-yard line. 4th down, and Miami must punt. And out comes George Roberts. He's 4th in the American Football Conference, averaging over 42 yards. And settling in deep is Roland James, 1st-round draft pick out of Tennessee. And he can really rip it if he gets the opportunity. James calls for, makes the fair catch at the 36-yard line. For New England, it'll be good field position.
Frank, may I say that New England, well aware of that crushing loss to San Francisco a week ago, and set the offense, Frank. We'll get to it later.
As we look at it, rookie Vegas Ferguson in there, very versatile youngster, 1st-round draft pick. Russ Francis going through an injury-free year. He has not had that for a while. And the receivers for the New England Patriots, Harold Jackson, Francis, and Morgan. They have been spectacular. They have 16 touchdown receptions between them. 1st and 10, 36-yard line, the New England Patriots. And here comes Harold Jackson. This is Vegas Ferguson, the rookie from Notre Dame. And in pursuit is Doug Betters as Vegas Ferguson moves up for a couple-of-yard gain. It'll be a 2nd down and 8, and let's meet the defensive unit. This will change also. Many times we will see Kim Bocamper, and you'll see him listed there as a linebacker. We'll see him on the line of scrimmage, as we will A.J. Dewey, who plays inside right linebacker. Both of these men are basically defensive ends who have the agility to play that linebacker position. Tim Foley, number 25, out for several weeks. He's back in the game. Or rather, he activated this afternoon. He's not starting, however, at strong safety. Vegas Ferguson, big opening right side, and Ferguson out over the 45. Close to a 1st down. I believe he has it at the 46.
Point I wanted to make was this. New England, after a great week of practice on the West Coast, blew one to San Francisco. They were disgusted with themselves. Well aware of the jinx in Miami, instead of going back to the cold New England weather, they went straight to West Palm Beach. They practiced all week at Yankee Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. They know they must win tonight. They're determined to break the jinx.
1st and 10, 46-yard line. Matt Cavanaugh, the quarterback. He has a very sore left knee. Screen pass, Calhoun. Calhoun gets a block from Hanna out in front, and Calhoun into Miami Dolphin territory at the 49-yard line. Gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Gerald Small defensively there for Miami.
I think if the difference in Cavanaugh and Grogan is that you'll see Cavanaugh use the backs more in the pass offense, where Grogan is more of a long ball thrower, intermediate range, 20 yards down the field. Cavanaugh will have a much more controlled game.
Matt Cavanaugh Didn't play at all his rookie year in 1978. Second-round draft pick after a great career at the University of Pittsburgh. We'll tell you more about it. As Matt looks over, a 2nd down and 4. Hands off inside. Calhoun makes a nifty cut. And inside the 45, short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and short. Bob Baumauer sliding out there and making the defensive stop.
There was a lot of baseball activity today at the owners' meetings in Dallas. We'll report on that later. But Uecker apparently left there in time to join us tonight.
Bob Uecker continuing to follow us around. 3rd, less than a yard. Pete Brock, number 58, a backup center, not really a backup center because he alternates with Bill Titus, is in there at a wing spot for New England on the 3rd and short. Calhoun easily gets the first down. Following behind Vegas Ferguson. And Don Calhoun this year has really filled in for Sam Cunningham, who had his contractual problems. Never did report and out of football this year.
The interesting thing about Calhoun, we've mentioned it very often. We don't want to belabor the point, but he is not a Sam Bam Cunningham when Cunningham was healthy. He is not the big fullback. He's an in-betweener, but he gets the yardage. He's functional.
Top of your screen is Harold Jackson playing in his 171st consecutive game tonight. Never missed one because of an injury. And here's Calhoun. You saw the flag slide into the line of scrimmage, usually indicating holding. Gain of a couple by Calhoun, who played his collegiate football, strange really, with Steve Grogan at Kansas State. Referee tonight, as you can see, is Jerry Seaman. Holding call indicated against the New England Patriots. And we have had a spectacular day here in Miami.
Beautiful. Moon over Miami.
Now we're doing a little poolside with the little granddaughter.
That's true. I remember, as Frank does, the old late Jack Oakey movie, Moon over Miami. When Frank introduced the great song, You Hit the Spot.
Sure I did. It'll be 1st down and 20. Ball backed up to a New England's 47-yard line. Jackson's quick right. He works best out there. Morgan to the left. A great speedster. Out of your screen. Robinson. This is Calhoun. And another flag goes down as Calhoun makes about 4 out of the screen to midfield.
And that's in the area of defensive holding.
Another solemn indication by Jerry Seaman. So Cavanaugh will have another penalty assessed against the Patriots.
I hope you noticed that stop, even though the penalty changed the nature of the play. Let's listen for the call. That stop was made by Tim Bokamp.
Pass interference, number 81, offense.
Russ Francis, Howard's all-world tight end.
And when you've got a sore need quarterback, you don't want to be in this situation. He's still got to stay in the intermediate range and not try to stretch it too much.
1st and 30. Let's take a little piece of it, would be the philosophy. Cavanaugh, a lot of time, and throws into a large crowd, and Russ Francis collides rather vigorously with Glenn Blackwood, both of them going down, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 30.
Let's look at this, Fran, ground level.
All right, here goes Cavanaugh. He really does what he shouldn't do. He's not mobile tonight. They're blitzing the linebacker. He's throwing down the field. The ball really should have been intercepted. Trying to throw for Francis, as you see. Broken up.
Again, the importance of this game. And it is important for New England. They have an 8-5 record in the AFC East. Buffalo 10-4. Buffalo beating LA yesterday in overtime. And it's going to come right down to the final wire between Buffalo and these New England Patriots. On 2nd down, 30. This is Vegas Ferguson. Pecking along and finding yardage out to the 45-yard line of New England. A pickup of 8 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 22. Doug Better, 75. Glenn Blackwood, 47. The defensive play for Miami.
3rd and 22 is very little yardage if you look at the history of the Atlanta Falcons this year. They were 3rd and 38 against the Rams with little time remaining, and Bartkowski threw a touchdown pass. The Rams' season was blown at that point.
Miami with their 5th defensive back in the alignment, down in the 4-man line that provides a better pass rush. Kavanaugh gets some of it as he goes out to Don Westbrook, the 3rd receiver that comes in for New England on sure pass situations, far short of the first down at the 46-yard line of Miami. It'll be 4th down.
But the basic point here is that here in the Orange Bowl, New England quickly had excellent field position, did not capitalize, went backwards.
With their own mistakes, Howard.
Hubash, 11th round rookie draft pick out of Kansas, looks down the field. He should be angling for the sidelines. Giaquinto is deep. Hubash trying to catch it inside the 5, and he does. A beautiful kick. Mike Hubash, he hung it high, got the proper rotation on the ball. He puts it out of bounds at the 6-yard line. So Miami begins deep in their own territory. Mike Hubash, he likes the action. So much on the line for the New England Patriots. Pride, prestige for the Miami Dolphins. We'll be back in a moment.
When I was coaching, I was the boss. I used to feed them, dress them, get them to bed on time. Now I treat them to our favorite beer, right?
Light beer from Miller.
Light's got a 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. And what else?
It's less filling, Red.
And they really like the taste. Another beer, anyone?
Yeah. Do it.
What's the magic word? Please.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Wait till you see how good you can be with Minolta XG1.
Hey, you want to see some terrific pictures?
Depend on the automatic Minolta XG1 to give you clear, sharp pictures. It does the work. You take the credit.
Yeah, I
Hey, do you want to see some terrific pictures? No.
Yeah, look.
That's lovely.
For a limited time, get an XG1 and get a $25 rebate from Minolta. See your dealer now for details.
Old middle linebacker, probably Bob Uecker. We finally found him, I guess.
Put it back on. Looks better the other way, Bob.
Bob Uecker in Miami for the taping of Superstars, which will begin at the end of the week. A lot of the great baseball players involved in that one. Some of the sports veterans, and Bob, of course, always adding to comedy.
I love the guy. He is marvelous.
Looks like non-identical twins. 1st and 10, Miami. Ball inside their own 6-yard line. Up comes David Woodley. 2 tight ends are in. Bruce Hardy is 84. Ronnie Lee is 86. This is Woody Bennett. He finds a gaping hole. He's out over the 25 to the 26-yard line. And this young man picked up just a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago on waivers from the Jets. And he has not carried that football that many times, even with the Jets a year ago where he was a free agent.
You've got to look at this replay, Fran.
Some kind of blocking in the middle to the trap play up the middle, and he takes off. Of course, it's a good run, but most backs can run with that kind of hold. We'll see him the rest of the night and see if he can do as well.
Well, the Jets felt he ran straight up and down, but he didn't then.
Played his collegiate football, did Woody Bennett, right on this field for the University of Miami. The first down is out over the 25-yard line. Coming right back to Bennett. He gets to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
That's a good example there of how important the offensive line is. The first time he had the hole, he got 20 yards. That time, no hole, got back to the line of scrimmage.
The irony of football, Woody Bennett was activated by the Dolphins the same day that they put Bob Greasy on injured reserve. Greasy, of course, with a sore, strained muscles in his right shoulder, just was in the booth before the game, told Howard and I he just could not throw the football. So that's why we have young David Woodley in there. At times spectacular during the season. 2nd down and 10. Draw play. Tony Nathan gets a couple. Fools 2, if anyone, of the New England Patriots. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Howard mentioned at the top of the show the remaining games we have coming your way, a couple of beauties. We'll be in Los Angeles, and the Dallas Cowboys, you have to admire what Tom Landry has done with that team. They, winners yesterday, of course, have moved to 11-3 record. Philadelphia dropping their game to Atlanta. They're tied for the Eastern Division of the AFC, and the Rams trailing, of course, the Atlanta Falcons, and they are hurting. We understand that Ferragamo, however, should be available for next week. 3rd down and 8. Whitley gets away from one blitzing linebacker. Rod Schote fires out incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and Miami must punt.
Well, that was a downright bad series, Francis. Miami has no place to go. They can afford to be daring, and yet they didn't even throw till 3rd down.
Very conservative series, and Woodley is a mobile quarterback. One you would like to see roll out some. Shula's used him as a rollout quarterback, but tonight he hasn't yet.
Backing to the 30-yard line of New England, Roland James. Off the side of Robert's foot. James takes it at the 33-yard line and taken there immediately with a good shoestring tackle at the 34-yard line. Hustling down there was Rick Moser, who came a couple of weeks ago from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this youngster I remember so well playing his high school football with my own son Kyle, Starsville High School. Championship football, by the way, too. We'll be back in a moment.
When you go to buy an Amana Radar Range microwave oven, just remember, all microwave ovens are not alike. For example, these Amana Radar Range ovens have an exemption from the federal regulation requiring a safety warning label. No other company in the world can make this claim.
After tests like this, and this, there was no leakage in excess of federal standards. Amana Radar Range, the first microwave oven with a memory, now with RotoWave cooking system. If it doesn't say Amana, it's not a radar range.
You see, Magic, what Buick learned from their new small cars...
They put into their larger cars. Right, Sue?
Yeah. So, for instance, in the Porsche Electra Limited, there's an efficient V6 engine.
And in the economical Skylark, there's plush room and comfort.
They've made their efficient smaller cars luxurious.
And their luxurious larger cars efficient.
So, in any size...
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Championship Boxing. Salvador Sanchez and Juan Laporte fight for the WBC World Featherweight title. Saturday on ABC.
Steve Grogan, we told you about his problems. Knee problems. He cannot use one of his major tools, and that is the agility, the opportunity to move around. Last week against San Francisco, he had to play because Matt Cavanaugh had started the week before against Baltimore. He was hurt. Grogan had to go against San Francisco, and he suffered 6 interceptions out there in a stunning upset to New England's hopes for an Eastern Division championship of the AFC. And this is Matt Cavanaugh, 1st and 10, 34-yard line of New England. Vegas Ferguson, and Ferguson goes down immediately, running right into Vern Denherter over on the left side. There will be a loss of a couple of yards.
Well, Frank, it's obvious here that New England has decided they're going to come out and try to run the ball on the Dolphins. So far, they really haven't been that successful running it. When you're going for a playoff spot, everybody's got to win at this time of the year, and you've got to be aggressive playing offensive football. They have not been aggressive to this point.
Extra linebacker moves in for Miami. You saw Denherter come out. Ernest Roan, number 55. Good on the pass coverage. He has 3 interceptions on the year. 2nd down and 12. Ball inside the 33-yard line of New England. 5:50, and the clock moving here in the first quarter with no score. The reverse to Harold Jackson, who wants to throw the ball, and he does to Russ Francis. Complete. And it will be close to the 1st down, again dependent upon where it is marked.
I must say that was a lot of leisure domain for a relatively short gain. But it's good to see Jackson throw. As you know, he's the leader of the Jackson Union in New England.
Here's a little reverse back from Vegas Ferguson Jackson. And really, it's a difficult pass. He's got to throw back across his body to Russ Francis. He's open, but that's a difficult pass to have an in throw, and he did all right.
Marked for the 1st down, just short of the 45-yard line. Talked about Grogan. We'll remind you again that Cavanaugh also playing hurt tonight. Very sore left knee, and this is Calhoun. Calhoun over the 45 to the 47. Larry Gordon defensively there, number 50. A fine defensive linebacker against the run for the Dolphins. A gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And 1st down is just as important down as 3rd down. You come up 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 is the defense advantage. And right now it's advantage Miami.
Andy Johnson checks into the offensive huddle for the New England Patriots. He has had his knee problems over the years also. Johnson, a fairly good receiver. He has some 18 receptions out of the backfield this year for New England. 2nd and 8, Cavanaugh drops. Feels the pressure, but he gets the ball to Johnson. And Johnson has the first down, more down to the 35-yard line. It's a little circle out of the backfield, and the Dolphins had the pressure on Matt Cavanaugh, but he was able to get it to Johnson.
All right, here we go from the end zone. Cavanaugh's going back again. We said he would utilize his backs. Andy Johnson's an excellent receiver out of the backfield. He catches it, makes good yardage. There's another guy over there on the sideline by the name of Foreman. He's only caught 12 passes this year, and tonight he hasn't been in the game yet.
That's interesting, isn't it? The way they've not used that man so great for so many years, especially coming out of the backfield. Chuck Foreman.
New England 1st and 10 inside the 36-yard line of Miami. The handoff goes to Calhoun, and Calhoun breaks tackles and gets down to the 25, and it'll be another New England first down. Don Veselu made the save there on Calhoun along with Ralph Ortega. Inside linebacker on the left side for the Dolphins, number 54. Seconds ticking away in the first quarter.
Now here's a ground level look. Just a little counter play, straight blocking, and good blocking. Calhoun breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, as most straight backs need to do.
I'll tell you,
first down.
Brian, you saw Vegas Ferguson put a heck of a block on a 6'4", 250-pound A.J. Dewey, number 77. Cavanaugh, straight drop back, a lot of pressure, gets the screen off. It's Calhoun. Calhoun dancing into a lot of Dolphins after a gain of maybe 2 yards. Don Veselu again in on the stop defensively for Miami.
Not near as much as they should have had. The screen was well set up. Len Titus, number 67, came out, didn't really execute his block. If he could have, it would have been a long gainer.
Hey, something about this man, Cavanaugh. We told you he is playing a little bit hurt tonight, but if you remember his great collegiate career, you know that he had a very severely injured wrist as a junior. He missed 3 weeks with that one, came back and led Pittsburgh over Clemson in the Gator Bowl. As a junior, he had a broken fibula in his leg. He missed just a month with that, and of course went on to win the Sugar Bowl over Georgia and a national championship for Pittsburgh. So we know that Cavanaugh can get it done. Mosi Tutupu in. Vegas Ferguson gets a big opening, and Vegas Ferguson with a 15-yard line. And New England grinding it now on the ground.
And John Hanna, number 73, who's about the best lineman in North America, he made the key block to allow Ferguson to get through the hole.
Time out of the field. We're going to have a measurement, so we'll look at it again.
All right, here's the end zone. Look, watch 73 there. John Hanna, he's going to lead up through the hole. Watch him now. He will make a block. He will bury number 45, Ed Taylor. Puts him right on the ground. And really, Ferguson should have had more.
I love to watch Hanna play. He cleans out a whole linebacking core and backfield by himself.
He's like a pair of folks. John Hanna, 265, and he leads the way for a first down for New England, and they're ticking away the seconds on the clock.
Well, the great thing about Hanna, if you look at him there, he is big, he can pass block, but very seldom you see a man that big who can lead a play around the end like he can. Kind of reminds you of a guy that played at Green Bay by the name of Kramer. First name Jerry.
I know. What about Fuzzaroo?
Wasn't bad either.
Bring him in too. But Hanna does not have a neck. Did you see that?
1:38 remaining in the first quarter. No score. 1st and 10 New England inside the 16-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. On the ground once again, Ferguson with a nifty slice back, turns nothing into something for a gain of about 3. Down inside the 12-yard line, Bob Bonnar sliding out there from his nose guard position.
You're exactly right, Frank. Ferguson turned nothing into something. I think he's probably the most underpublicized, excellent rookie of the year.
Yeah, they know about him in New England, though. He can pick up 84 more yards than he came in with tonight. He will be the best rookie rusher in the history of the Patriots, replacing Kyle Garrett back in '69. He's over 600 yards already. And here comes Stanley Morgan, the great speedster out of Tennessee. Mosi Tutupu. Tatupu inside the 10 to the 8. Short of the first down by a couple. Larry Gordon on the stop. It'll be 3rd and 2.
You're a lucky man tonight. You don't have Tatupu being tackled by Tuiasosopo.
No, he wouldn't be tackled by Tuiasosopo.
Again, the Patriots must believe in that running game, because if you get down to that part of the field, you have 2nd and 8, and you run the ball off tackle, it means that you really believe you can run the football against the Dolphins.
And New England will not attempt to get a playoff before the quarter expires. Matt Cavanaugh moving over to confer with the coaching staff, headed by Ron Earhart, of course. And that is the end of the first quarter. No score. New England dominating the game thus far on the ground. We'll be back in the Orange Bowl right after this.
For many of us to join the move toward efficiency and part with the old family bus. If you belong to this practical group, we'd like to suggest that while you may be moving down somewhat in size, you could move up a good deal in luxury. The Buick Century Sedan, our elegant, roomy, affordable V6-powered little limousine. If you're going to move up. Our little limousine, the Century Sedan, one of the V6 Buicks.
Sony introduces the art of watching television. The Sony Betamax lets you record and see what you want when you want, to summon into your home a world of wonder. And a remarkable feature called Betascan lets you scan forward and reverse to quickly find any single image. Betamax transforms the act of watching television into the art of watching television.
Your show is about to begin.
Sony, the one and only.
We're doing something about it. We're working at making our energy last.
Sunoco wants to make every drop count for America. That's why we have a new pump for unleaded gas. It has 4 grades of unleaded, including economy, priced below our regular, which can save money for you and fuel for America.
We're doing something about it. Sunoco is making every drop count.
Crowd at the Orange Bowl tonight, even though the Miami Dolphins are out of the playoff scene. Stadium seats over 70,000. They look like they have produced some 50 or 55,000 tonight. 3rd down and 3 as we begin the second quarter for the New England Patriots. Single setback in there is Andy Johnson. Carlos Pennywell, a 3rd wide receiver, is in number 88. Flag is down. We'll get a holding call as Andy Johnson moves into the end zone. Boy, and I'll tell you, Andy Johnson was open.
Yes, he was. They crossed the back in the secondary. Linebackers lost him, and I think that might be Dwight Wheeler trying to block better.
That's another key New England mistake. And you saw Earhart's disgust. He's under pressure, fighting for his job. To keep his job, he probably has to win every remaining New England game. Frank, as we wait for the call, how do you blame the coach for that?
Holding number 62, offense.
Dwight Wheeler over on the left side, working against Doug Betters.
That, my friends, is a tough penalty. It's somewhat of a mental mistake. When you get inside the 10-yard line, you just cannot have that happen.
3rd down, 13. Ball out at the 18-yard line. 4 wide receivers in now. Flags all over the place. Cavanaugh on target to Westbrook, and Westbrook had appeared short of the first down, but again, the flags are down. And as we await the call, we'll tell you over that left side for the Miami Dolphins. Missing tonight is Don McNeil, 1st-round draft pick out of Alabama. He's not playing tonight. And Ed Taylor, number 45, is in there defensively for Miami at the left corner. Come on, Jerry, smile.
They must take this penalty.
All right, the first quarter stats. You see the total domination by New England, the -9 in passing yardage for Miami, and the total domination in time of possession of New England, but they came up empty, and that's the bottom line.
But they're going to have another chance.
5-yard penalty. And the discussion right now is with Matt Cavanaugh. It is the offside indication.
Now this is interesting, guys. They're going to kick a field goal and not get another shot at the end zone.
So they're going to take the completion. The option was to have a 3rd down and 8, or the completion down at the 6-yard line. They'll take the completion. It'll be 4th down. And have they brought out John Smith? Yes, they have. He is lining up.
I respectfully disagree with this decision.
So do I.
Well, again, already you begin to sense that New England is just going to try and not take any risk, any chance, using their superior personnel just to play it as close to the best as they can tonight because they need this game desperately. 23-yard attempt for John Smith, who's 22 of 28 on the year and leading the NFL in scoring. And Smith, that's his 111th point of the season. And New England on top. In the opening minutes of the second quarter, they lead 3-0. And we'll be coming back to the Orange Bowl right after this message.
Ace Hardware Theater presents Santa's Little Helper. Remember, when you face one of life's little gift needs,
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
I'm here at Paul Masson Chateau in California. Almost every night here there's a wine tasting party, and one of the favorites is Paul Masson Chablis. It's light and crisp. It's delicious. The wine you drink the most should be the best. And they take special care with it here because they know Chablis is America's most popular wine. Paul Masson Chablis. I recommend it. Paul Masson will sell no wine before it's time.
Tuesday on Heart to Heart.
Alone at last.
Lady wrestler wants her arms around Jonathan.
The Patriots take the lead in the opening moments of the second quarter. Mike Rubash, who does the kicking off for the Patriots, has his heat up at the 35. Don Veselu has dropped for the Dolphins. There he is. Rubash hammers it, and Veselu slipped. And that ball's not going into the end zone. He'll have to play it. And down at the 3-yard line, that ball is alive. And you saw Veselu. He came up, tried to make the play, slipped, down he went, and he has to go back, and Miami will begin at the 3-yard line. Alvin Clark down there quickly for New England.
All right, here's a look at Veselu. He must have short cleats on because he slipped trying to get to the ball. And the ball just wouldn't go to the end zone. He's going to have to pick it up because if the Patriots fall on it there, it's their ball. Big break for the Pats.
But Miami, with no place to go, no playoff possibility, has to gamble. They can't just run it into the line. Woodley has to use his athletic abilities. Rollouts, options, throw the ball.
David Woodley alternated at quarterback a year ago at LSU, an 8th-round draft pick, as we mentioned. Play action. Woodley out in the flat, and it's complete. It goes to number 86, Ronnie Lee, the second-year tight end out of Baylor. That was his 4th reception of the season. They alternate tight ends here at Miami with Hardy, Lee, and Joe Rose, the rookie from California. Gain of maybe a yard. Second down and 9. Don Chulu, quite frankly, has really done it all in pro football. Son didn't have a bad year either up at Cornell. The Dartmouth brother.
He's going to be in the Senior Bowl. I told Don, well, it's finally happened. You're not in the big bowl, but your boy is.
Second and 9. Woody Bennett. And Woody Bennett stacked up. It's a yard out of it, close to the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Steve Nelson in there quickly, defensively, and then the entire defense collapsed.
Can't do it that way, Giff, and if they can't negotiate a first down now, New England will have superb field position.
And that spot of the field is the easiest place to throw from because you've got 95 yards to work with. The defense has got to defend 95 yards. Nothing to lose. You've got to come out throwing right now. 3rd and 8.
Jimmy Cepolo, wide receiver, comes in, number 81. Again, reminding you that the Dolphins have been without their fine wide receiver, Dorial Harris, for 4 games with a hamstring, and they miss him. On the ground, Woody Bennett. He's piled up close to the original line of scrimmage. Mike Haynes, a perennial all-pro at right cornerback, made the force, and Rod Schote defensively there to help him. So it'll be 4th down, and Miami will be punting from their end zone.
Well, I love Don Shula. I bow to no man in my respect for that great coach. But that call, I don't understand.
Well, what you've done, you put a tremendous amount of pressure on your defense because New England's going to get the ball at least across the 50-yard line, probably across the 40.
There's Roland James. He took one back earlier in the year, 75 yards for a touchdown against the Jets. Second in the AFC returning punts. And you better believe Miami is aware of that.
They've got the return on, Jeff.
Good punt by Roberts. Takes James back to his own 47-yard line, and he doesn't handle it. He looked upfield, took his eyes off it, and the ball went by him. James all the way back to the 26-yard line. They'll mark it at the 27, but Roberts got a good punt off. Roland James should have handled it. He did not.
That, my friend, is not big-time football. You've got to field punts. We've seen two major errors made in the kicking game. One in receiving a kickoff, the other by the pass and trying to receive a punt and got them back in a hole. We'll be back in a minute.
The New York steak dinner at Denny's starts with more than a half-pound loin of beef, aged just the right number of days, grilled up juicy and tender. Next come crisp onion rings, and a big baked potato with real sour cream, and grilled garlic toast, all for only $5.95. Come try the New York steak dinner at Denny's, where you'll like our prices and you'll love our food.
Looking for top mileage? Chevy offers 6 new trucks rated at 20 mpg or better. Now that's top mileage. There's the Chevy diesel pickup, Chevy El Camino, the new 6-cylinder special economy truck, the new V8 special economy truck, Chevy Love 2-wheel drive, Chevy Love 4-wheel drive. That's more kinds of trucks rated at 20 mpg or better than anyone else. So if you're looking for a top mileage pickup, you know where to look. Look to Chevy. Chevy trucks, built for economy.
Roberts has just banged a punt from the Miami Dolphins out of their end zone, misplayed by Roland James. A 66-yard net, and New England, rather than having field position inside Miami territory, will have a 1st and 10, the ball at their own 27-yard line.
Well, maybe we'll see it tonight, in spite of that sign.
That reference, of course, to the fact that New England has lost the last 12 times they have appeared here. That was one game in 69 that New England won, but that was played in Tampa. 1st and 10, New England. Vegas Ferguson got a good block from Don Calhoun and gets to the 30-yard line for a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Friends, if you've got a back like Walter Payton or Earl Campbell, you can run predominantly on 1st down. If you do not, you better mix it up and throw the ball on 1st down. New England is not doing that. And they don't have Earl Campbell.
If you've got Earl Campbell, you can do whatever you want to do. He's as valuable when he doesn't carry the ball as when he does.
2nd and 8. Calhoun and Ferguson the setbacks. Ferguson. Flag goes down as Ferguson struggles out over the 35, close to the 37. Ed Taylor up there defensively. Lots of flags so far tonight. Seeing more and more of that.
That will either be a clip or a hold.
I thought Shelby Jordan.
Holding, and New England will be backed up. And we want to tell you about Saturday coming up right here on ABC. First of all, college football. It'll be live at 1:30 Eastern. Regional coverage of NCAA Division II championship game. That'll be Eastern Illinois against Cal Poly at San Luis Obispo. Then the Division I AA semifinal games. And then ABC's Wide World of Sports returns, 5 o'clock Eastern and Pacific, 4 o'clock Central. The WBC World Featherweight Championship will be featured. Salvador Sanchez against Juan Laporte. Howard, you'll be there in El Paso for that. That one, of course, blacked out in the El Paso area. He's really moving around.
Yeah, I'll tell you that Sanchez is a quality fighter. Marvelous counterpuncher. Great right lead with the speed to get away with it. He is a fighter.
Second down, 17. Penalty called against Shelby Jordan, right tackle of New England. Ball near the 20-yard line. Matt Cavanaugh having problems. Works about a yard and a yard and a half out of that, so it's going to be third down and 14.
I just think the whole pattern of play, the whole apparent game plan of New England is disappointing.
Well,
they've already had 4 penalties. 3 have been for holding. They're playing the most cautious, negative attack you could ever see. I can't see a team heading for the playoffs playing this way.
And they're going to encourage a young Miami Dolphin team to keep playing like this.
Andy Johnson comes back in. He's been effective out of the backfield, primarily working against A.J. Dewey, who now has been taken out of the lineup. And over the middle, and it's complete to Stanley Morgan. He has the first down out at the 49-yard line. And just very fortunate to hold on to that. Morgan's 39th reception of the year, and as you can see, he's heading for another Pro Bowl performance.
All right, here's a ground level look as Cavanaugh goes back, gets a fair amount of pressure, delivers a strike, but Morgan came across the middle, knows he's going to get hit, holds on the ball. Big first down for the Pats there.
Big play and their first clutch play of the game, really.
For New England, they trail Buffalo. Buffalo with a win yesterday over LA are 10-4. New England, as of the moment here tonight, 8-5. Battling for the Eastern Division of the AFC. And New England very cautious. Handoff. Calhoun gets up close to midfield. A gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Don Veselu, who's been a busy, strong safety tonight, again on the stop. There he is. Took over for Tim Foley after the 5th game and has been a fine performer at that strong safety spot. 4th interceptions for Veselu, and as you can see, he has been busy tackling all over the field tonight. 5th round draft pick a year ago, Don Veselu. 2nd and 4. Ball just short of midfield. Vegas Ferguson with Calhoun in front. Ferguson could not get around the corner. Ed Taylor springs it out and then gets help from inside. 8:44 remaining in the first half. New England on top, 3-0.
And guess who's coming into the game for the first time tonight? Number 22, Chuck Foreman.
Well, obvious pass situation, and they've created this situation for themselves all night, Fran. It's crazy.
If they keep this pattern, Cavanaugh's going to have to come up with a lot of big third down plays tonight, and he's got another one staring him in the face.
Foreman with those many great years with you, Fran, at Minnesota, came to New England this past year for a reported 3rd round draft pick. 3rd and 4. Foreman out of the backfield, over the middle, bounces off one tackler, Ortega, and gets the first down to the 48-yard line. And Ralph Ortega tried to jar the ball loose, and Foreman just bounced right off him.
When you have a player like Chuck Foreman, and we'll look at an end zone replay right here, Fran, how in the world do you use him so sparingly? Only 12 receptions on the air up until this.
He's the best back out of the backfield catching passes I've ever seen in professional football. He's only 30 years old. He ran over 4.740 this training camp. That's as good as he's ever done. He can really help your team.
Appears to be shaken up with a little limp on the sidelines as Horace Ivory, number 23, a speedster out of Oklahoma, comes in on first down and 10. The ball at the 43-yard line of the Dolphins, and New England moving on the ground again. Here's Calhoun. Calhoun runs into nose guard Baumauer at the 41-yard line. A gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Well, you saw it once again, Frank, right to the run, no gain, setting up problems for Cavanaugh.
But the thing is, we talked about New England being a little passive on offense. The Dolphins really are not playing an inspired game to this point. They've had a chance to take over this game defensively, make some plays, and they really haven't made the plays on defense. They're not as hot as they were against San Diego a few weeks ago when we saw them play so well.
Mosi Tatupu, number 30, and Horace Ivory, 23. Setbacks for New England. 2nd down and 9. Play action by Cavanaugh. He's in trouble. He's on a gimpy wheel, and he steps out of bounds, close to the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 39. It'll be 3rd down and 7. It's Kim Bokamper, the big linebacker, in pursuit of Kavanaugh.
The thing about Kavanaugh is the way he's been trained. He was developed by one of the finest college coaches I have ever known, Johnny Majors. And he got his leadership development from Johnny Majors, now at Tennessee. But it was at Pittsburgh, after having done a great job at Iowa State, that Majors made Pitt #1 in the country. And Jackie Sherrill, himself a fine coach, has inherited the Majors legacy. But leadership, Kavanaugh got it from Majors.
3rd and 7. The partisan crowd calling for defense. Kavanaugh. A.J. Dewey misses it. Kavanaugh steps up, and he quickly hits Don Westbrook, the 3rd receiver in the backfield, down to the 22. 1st down, New England.
That's the thing about Kavanaugh. He's a thinker. He's an opportunist. He doesn't panic.
Now here he goes back here in the pocket. You're going to see pressure come from his right. He steps up. He's still looking downfield. He throws off balance. He throws a strike. Kavanaugh has one thing that all quarterbacks have got to have if they're going to be successful in this league, and that's mental toughness. Ryan Seif, the little fella in Cleveland, if he doesn't make All-Pro this year, there ain't no Santa Claus.
He's had himself a year. That entire Cleveland Brown team, they are definitely for real on top of the Central Division of the AFC with that 10-4 mark. Game ahead of Houston. 1st and 10, the ball at the 22-yard line. Calhoun, left side, and Calhoun cannot pull free and gets down close to the 18-yard line for a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Ralph Ortega came from Atlanta a couple of years ago, actually last year, and could not play because of a knee problem, but very popular down here in the Miami area, the only Cuban in the National Football League, and of course there's a burgeoning Cuban population here. Ralph Ortega is not just kind of a local favorite son. He is a good football player. 2nd down, 7. That's Harold Jackson in motion. Calhoun, left side, running into Baumauer. Coming up short at about the 16-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and 4.
Yep, this is the 4th time in this drive that Kavanaugh's had to come up with 3rd down and 4 or more. If they get in and score a touchdown or a field goal on this drive, give the credit to number 12, Matt Cavanaugh.
It's true.
Key play, of course, the scramble when he found Don Westbrook. Inside the 16-yard line. Andy Johnson, single setback, but he'll work out of the backfield. Kavanaugh on his bat of the way. Doug Fetters, I believe, put up a big paw, and Doug Fetters is 6'7", and that means the paw gets up there pretty high. Here comes John Smith. John Smith has already hit from 23 yards out. That's the only score we have in a rapidly moving game, primarily because New England has dominated time of possession, and they've been on the ground.
Even if they make this, they've come up empty on touchdowns twice, and that can cost you later.
33-yard attempt. The holder is Matt Cavanaugh, of course, the quarterback. Blocked. No, and he did not. It looked like the Dolphin had come over the top, but Smith puts it through. So New England has moved up and down the field pretty much at will, and they still have to settle for 2 field goals. They lead 6-0 with 4:31 remaining in the first half, and we'll be back at the Orange Bowl in a moment.
If you like people, you'll love New York. Eastern takes care of about 5 million travelers a year here. For many of them, their first contact with us is BT Tynes. We've just added a $500,000 baggage system to help him out, but it can never do the job he does. In Tucson, we're the new airline in town, so we don't have a fancy new terminal. But we do have Pat Gadsden, our people, working hard to win the West. I fly Eastern, but you don't have to. So we have to earn our wings every day.
I'll tell you, I was a born soccer player. Did everything with my feet. Took out the rubbish with my feet, made the bed with my feet, drove my mum crazy. But I finally found something I enjoy doing with my hands, drinking light beer from Miller. Light has a third less calories than the regular beer. It's less filling. But what really makes me happy is the taste. It's terrific. Now, my mum should be happy too. Look, Mum, no feet.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
And New England continues to play it very close. They lead 6-0. Set to kick off, Mike Kubash, who does the kicking off for New England. Don Veselu has now moved up, and he'll take the ball out at the 20-yard line. And Veselu is hammered there at the 30-yard line, and we will see Miami possession from the 30. Now we're across the country again. For next Monday night, we'll see the Dallas Cowboys tied in the Eastern Division of the NFC with Philadelphia going against the Rams. The Rams, of course, in trouble. Rams now 9-5, trailing Atlanta. 11-3 is Atlanta, and they have clinched at least a playoff spot, as has both Dallas and Philadelphia.
I happen to think Tom Landry has done his greatest coaching job ever this year. Gil Brandt had a spectacular draft despite the absence of a first and second round draft choice. And at halftime, you'll see Aaron Mitchell make a superb play to save the game against Oakland.
4:22 remaining to halftime. 1st and 10. Woodley will put it on top. Here comes the blitz. And out with the screen, this time to Del Williams. And Williams racing down the sidelines, did not step out of bounds. Gets out to the 44-yard line. First down, Miami. Del Williams, first action of the night.
Fran, don't you get the feeling that Miami, which has had the ball such a little amount of time, is going to somehow erupt because New England hasn't put the ball in for the TD?
I do. That was only their 11th offensive play of the entire first half. They've been kind of lethargic. New England has not taken advantage of their lethargy, and now they could come alive. That play helped them.
Jimmy Cepolo comes in. So they have two tight ends, and the wide receiver, top of your screen, is Cepolo. Lee and Hardy, the tight ends. Del Williams breaks inside of a block, but then he is taken by Steve Nelson and dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
Steve Nelson reminds me of number 54, Greg Bingham on Houston. You play on the inside that way, you rarely get the attention you deserve. Nelson is a super player, as Bingham is. But if you're playing a 34 defense and you're not on the outside, it's hard, as I said, to get the attention you deserve.
Daryl Harris comes in, number 82. His first action of the night. Missing for 4 weeks, as we mentioned earlier, with a hamstring. He wears number 82 on 1st and 10. On 2nd and 10, incomplete. Tim Fox there defensively. And, you know, when you look at the secondary, and Woodley is being patted there by a blitzing Rod Choate, all of the defensive backs are first-round draft picks.
Well, you'll see at the top of your screen, he's trying to hit the wide receiver on a turn in there. The ball gets away from Woodley. There's all kind of room, as you can see, to throw the ball in there. David just let the ball get away from him. That happens sometimes.
It kept turning over. It waffled its way downfield. Very badly thrown.
3rd down, 10. Harris is out. Tony Nathan, single setback for the Dolphins. And on 3rd and 10, on the ground, this is Nathan. Nathan gets to midfield and then is pounded short of the first down by 5. It'll be 4th down. We'll see the punting unit for Miami.
Well, I don't know.
I don't really fault that call. The element of surprise, I don't know.
I do, Howard. 3rd and 10, you've got to throw the ball. You've got to throw the ball. At that position on the field, the chances of running for 10 yards at that position are not too good.
Well, I remember a coach who taught me that you can run in that situation and make it work. His name, Wee Bubank. Of course, he had Boozer and Snell.
George Roberts to punt for Miami. You had a look at Roland James, who is settled in at about the 12-yard line. And they will not get the punt off as we have the 2-minute warning in a briskly moving football game from Miami. And we'll be back at the Orange Bowl right after this.
Cellini Cologne, for the man who loves life. Creamy cologne for men. Created in Italy by Fabergé.
All over America, do-it-yourselfers are becoming Stanley Super Doers. They're doing bigger things, and they're doing them better and better. They depend on Stanley tools for measuring things right, for shaping things right, for making joints fit right. Tools that work right are made by Stanley, the do-it-yourself company.
Stanley, we want to help you do things right.
For a super deal on the NFL Thermos jug and mugs, look for specially tagged Stanley tools.
2 minutes remain in the first half from the Orange Bowl of Miami, Florida. Frank Gibson with Howard Cosell, Fran Tarkenton. Give you an idea of what's going on in terms of possession. It's been all New England, grinding it out on the ground. And Miami is about ready to turn it over as we have a 4th down and 5. Ball rest.
WJZ-TV, Channel 13, Baltimore.
And for New England, down around his 12-yard line, and George Roberts will do the punting.
I think, Howard, that Miami was playing for Roland James to fumble the punt.
Might be right. I mean, Roland James, he has great raw talent that you saw a short while ago. There he is, the rookie #1 draft pick from Tennessee. He'll make a few mistakes for you, but also he is a game breaker.
He really will on the pass, too. He has defensed the run beautifully in his rookie year, but they've had to move Sanford in regularly because of his problems with the pass.
Roberts taking a long count, trying to draw New England offside. Roberts aims it for the corner, and it'll bound into the end zone, and a flag goes down. So we'll again await the call of referee Jerry Seaman and his crew.
It's going to be against Roland James.
A 50-yard punt into the end zone. Discussion there.
Howard, should we speculate why, or let's listen to him? He'll tell us.
Jerry's not talking to us tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what he did. Roland James knew he wasn't going to catch the ball. He went up to block the Dolphin, but instead of blocking him, he held him. That makes sense? That's what happened.
We'll get a word out of Jerry in a moment as soon as he marks it off.
All right, here we go. Suspense, drama.
Illegal use of hands. Number 25, receiving team, prior to the ball, going into the end zone. First down.
Rick Sanford, and boy, Jerry is really animated, isn't he?
He really is.
We'll tell you about it.
They talk about a poker face.
1:51 now remaining in the half. New England on top, 2 field goals. 23-yarder and a 33-yarder, both by John Smith. They have the football inside their own 10-yard line. Draw play. Calhoun. And Calhoun now close to the 12-yard line. Gain of 2.5 yards. Ken Bocamper defensively there, number 58, along with Glenn Blackwood, number 47.
Only in the last 3 or 4 games has Bocamper begun to come on the way Shula, who labeled him when he reported in as a rookie as the greatest athlete he had ever drafted. Only in those recent 3 or 4 games has Kim begun to play the way he can. Frank mentioned he's like having a defensive end there as well as a linebacker, and that's the case.
Very emotional, and he just needs the discipline that's developed over his 4 years now. Bocamper. 2nd down and 8. Calhoun once again, right up the middle behind Bill Linkaitis.
Call a timeout, Miami. Call a timeout.
You're right.
They've got to.
59 seconds. Of course, Miami using the timeout. They want to get the football back. Dolphins now have 2 timeouts remaining. And it'll be 3rd down and 3.
Well, Giff, if they hold them here, call the timeout, they're going to get good field position and a chance to get something on the board before the end of the first half.
So the discussion is with head coach Ron Earhart by quarterback Matt Cavanaugh. And 59 seconds remaining in the half. We'll be back.
Wendy's has the taste.
Single, double, and triple.
Hamburgers fresh, not frozen. We have the taste. So let the others have their slogans. Wendy's makes them fresh each day. Serves them up to you hot off the grill.
256 ways.
The way of good face. Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger taste. We have the taste that Wendy's taste. We have the taste that Wendy's.
Foreign oil. We know the consequences. Higher prices, political instability. So America is working hard to reduce our dependence by increasing the use of our own energy resources. At Westinghouse, we're using our technology to get more energy out of coal and nuclear. And we're working on solar, fusion, fuel cells, and other renewable sources to serve our children for generations. Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
Friday, Peter Falk leads the craziest gang of crooks in the crime of the century, the Brinks Job.
The Miami Dolphins trailing 6-0, have called timeout. Gambling that on 3rd down and 3, they can stop New England, forcing New England to punt, and the Dolphins would have good field position.
And if I were on the defensive team here, I would play run very hard. I don't think New England, with their posture so far tonight, will throw the ball in this situation. I think they'll run it.
Morgan, stripped to the left by Matt Cavanaugh. Harold Jackson to the right. Now Jackson will go in motion. This is Vegas Ferguson, and Ferguson gets the first down. Out over the 20-yard line, close to the 22. And one would suspect the Dolphins now will let time run out on the clock.
And so will New England, Jeff.
Camper and Roan over there defensively. Boy, and there were some wild games around the NFL yesterday. You're going to have a chance to look at some of the highlights at halftime. Interesting, 3 teams have clinched at least a playoff in the NFC, Dallas, Philadelphia, and Atlanta.
In the AFC, everything's up for grabs.
It really is. So this game is important not only to New England, trying to edge out Buffalo, whom they trail at the moment. Buffalo with a 10-4 record, New England with an 8-5 record, but wild cards are on the line in all divisions. And time will expire. New England, I'll tell you, they are playing it close to the best. In fact, they're even not playing it close to the best. There it is, the end of the first half. New England 6-0 over the Miami Dolphins. We'll be right back.